Nice, we're live. What's up, guys? Once again, I'm gonna do some grammar with you, and yes, this is the kind of video where you have to fill in the blanks. So I'm gonna read this, but of course I'm not gonna say the missing word, and you have to guess what it is. Okay? And yeah, you know what it is. We've done this before, so let's get to it. Okay, so this is all about adjectives, and I wanted to save you a little bit of energy because it's gonna be in singular, in plural, with or without t, superlative. It's gonna be everything related to adjectives here. So I don't want you to waste energy translating. Let's just focus on the keywords here. Okay, so the first one, min ven er en engel. Min ven er en engel. Okay, so something is missing here. Now, of course, it's my best friend is an angel. So the missing word is, what do you think? What do you think it is? It's min bedste, right? Min bedste ven er en engel. So it's very similar to the English. Just remember that you gotta put a D in there, a silent D. Okay, so min bedste ven er en engel. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Nothing special there. What about this one? Vores udsigt er. Vores udsigt er. Okay, so our view is amazing. How do you say amazing in Danish? It's not that hard, but do you know it? What do you say? You say fantastisk, right? Fantastic. Give me a second here. I don't want the TV to pop up. All right. Fantastisk. Okay, so yeah, vores udsigt er fantastisk. Okay. Now I accidentally played my own video on the screen. That's not weird at all. Okay, so then we have nej, han er ikke så. Nej, han er ikke så. Okay, so no, he's not that fast. How do you say fast in Danish? You say hurtig. Hurtig, that's the word. Han er ikke så hurtig. Yeah, that is a silent G. That is correct. Han er ikke så hurtig. Okay, cool. Okay, what about this one? Det skete, da jeg var. Det skete, da jeg var. So it happened when I was little or when I was young, and as in I was a child. Det skete, da jeg var. What would you say? Many people, well, mostly beginners, I would say, might make a mistake with this one. The answer is lille. Lille. Now, some of you might think, oh, isn't it ung, and UNG ung, because that's a young. But what you got to consider here is if you say ung in Danish, we're thinking young people, like teenagers and maybe people in their 20s. So if you say jeg var meget ung, then we're thinking, okay, you were like 16 or maybe you were 18. You have to say lille, and because you're small in size, so yeah, you're a kid. That's just how we do it in Danish. Lille. Okay, then we got this. Så vejret var meget i går. Vejret var meget i går. So the weather was very warm or hot yesterday. What do you think? Vejret var meget. You know it. I'm not gonna make you wait too long. Meget varmt. Varmt. And then I ask you, why is it varmt and not varm? Why do I put a T there? Could I take it out? Do I have some flexibility? No, I don't. So if you're new to Danish, you gotta know this, or if you're still struggling with grammar. Vejret is, well, it's it vejr, a weather. So if the noun has it before, or it ends with et, like vejret or vejret, then you gotta put a T to the adjective, and we call that agreement. They have to match. Vejret var meget varmt. So yeah, it's very basic and you gotta know it. Vejret var meget varmt i går. Very nice. Alright, what's this? Det gik ikke så Det gik ikke så... Okay, so it didn't go so well. This is technically a little bit different. I mean, this is more in the adverb category, but I just put it there in case anybody is struggling. The word you want to use is godt. Det gik ikke så godt. And why is that? Well, because if you want to say well, if you're dealing with an adverb, you have to consider that is the way of an action. Okay? Like in English, you would often add li, like quickly, slowly, whatever. But in Danish, we do it by adding a t. So godt, langsomt, hurtigt, normalt. You gotta do that. If you don't have that, then we native speakers, we might get confused. So det gik ikke så godt. Didn't go so well. And please say godt, don't say god. So it's go or god in the simple one, like G-O-D, or den er god, it's good. But when there's a T, it changes to godt. So go and godt, two different vowels. And of course one also has the T at the end. Go, godt. Sounds like a nice song. Okay, then what? Then we got, ja, det er en meget sang. Yeah, det er en meget sang. Okay, so yes, it's a very inspiring song. Yeah, what do you think? What is the word for inspiring in Danish? It's easy if you've seen words like this before. Det er en meget inspirerende. Right? Yeah, because what we have, of course, is inspirere here, which is to inspire, and then you just add that NDE and it becomes an adjective. So that's nice. You cannot do that with all verbs and then like, oh, I'll just turn it into a noun. You have with quite a few, you can. So it's nice, you know, enjoy it when you can. Inspirerende, inspiring. Oh, and if you're wondering, because a lot of you have problems with the T, you know, should you add the T to the adjective or shouldn't you? You never add the T if it ends with this NDE. It's always the same. Like whether it's en or it, like the noun, it's en sang, but it could be it, I don't know, et hus, a house, et ansigt, a face. You wouldn't say inspirerende or inspirerende. No, it doesn't happen. Alright? So yeah, you should know that. Nice. And then what? Then we got han hjalp de børn. Han hjalp de børn. So he helped the little or young kids. Now we already had a little bit before, and because it's not ung, and ung, that's like young people, juvenile stuff, you could say. Yeah, but this is different. It's plural, right? Børn, kids. So it's små. Han hjalp de små børn. I think that, I mean, from my experience with my private students, this is one where you know it's wrong to say lille in plural, but you still say it anyway, like it's a habit. Well, what can I say? Try to remember that it is små. Like små is for the plural, and lille is for singular. It's weird, maybe, but you gotta do it. Okay, so han hjalp de små børn. Very nice. And then we got den flyvemaskine er scooterboy. Den flyvemaskine er, okay, so that airplane is the fastest. Now this is the superlative, like the most is something. So the highest. What is that? I don't know how to do it. Den flyvemaskine er, sometimes people just say flyver, by the way, but flyvemaskine is sort of the official word. Yeah, hurtigst. Right? So yeah, so what you have with that, right, is you have the normal hurtig, right? That's the adjective, the root, if you will, and then you add the st, and that's like the fastest. So yeah, it's kind of simple like that. That's pretty much, I don't want to say this is always the rule, because there's some exceptions perhaps here and there, but as a rule of thumb, that is generally how it goes with the most of something. Okay, beautiful. What's next? What we got here? De mennesker har masser af energi. De mennesker har masser af energi. Young people have a lot of energy. Okay, maybe I can do this because I know what my picture is doing. So now we already talked about like kids, but if you paid attention and you notice that I said something about ung, but this is plural, so it's unge, right? De unge mennesker. Because if I just said ung, that would be singular. You gotta have the E in the plural. Yeah, do that. Okay, so de unge mennesker. I know that can seem weird if your native language is, well, I know at least for English speakers, but I know in Spanish you put an S to the adjective in plural. So you have some advantage there. Okay, de unge mennesker har masser af energi. Sweet. Then we got, hvorfor er han så? Hvorfor er han så? Why is he so nervous? So you just gotta figure out how to say nervous. Similar, but it's not the same. If you say just nervous, it'll sound like you're not trying. Hvorfor er han så nervøs? Right? Whoops. Nervøs. Now, maybe you're thinking, well, could it be hvorfor er han så nervøst? No. With personal pronouns, han, hun, or de, or well, de of course could be plural, or jeg, etc. You just use the regular form of the adjective. You cannot put a T, okay? You cannot say hun er smukt, like she's beautiful. No, hun er smuk, or hun er sej, she's cool, not hun er sejt. I see this mistake sometimes in the comment section. It's fine, you should still comment, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but yeah, just kind of pay attention to like, what have I seen before, like from Danish people, from Thomas and other teachers, but just like in Danish in general. And yeah, we don't add T to the adjective, it's a personal pronoun. Again, personal pronoun is something like han, hun, jeg, du, all that kind of stuff, eh? Nice. Alright, then we got, it's a long sentence, but it's not that hard. Okay, so, nogle mænd er for at vise følelser. Nogle mænd og nogle mænd er for at vise følelser. Okay, so what are you gonna do about that? Some men are afraid of showing feelings. What do you think? What is afraid? I can tell you it's the same word for scared. We don't really have a difference in Danish. It's the same thing. The word for afraid is bange. Whoops, what are you doing? This underscore is very naughty. Okay, so bange. Right? Nogle mænd er bange for at vise følelser. Yeah. And bange is kind of an interesting word because it always has an E. Let's say it's one person, say I am scared. You wouldn't say jeg er bang. No, that's just bang or bang, the sound effect. Right? So, sorry, it's a scary sound. That's what it sounds like when we try to hold it back. So nogle mænd er bange. Right? And yeah, it just is what it is. And you can't add a T. There's no such thing as banget. Bange is always bange. Right? And you don't say banger or bangest, you say mere bange. So yeah, bange is a nice word. Well, it's a sucky meaning. Nobody wants to be afraid. But grammatically, it's very easy to deal with. Noise. Okay, so nogle mænd er bange for at vise følelser. And we move on. And it says, se hvor hendes hår er. Se hvor hendes hår er. Look at how long her hair is. Yeah, so what is long in Danish? I guess this is one of the first 10 adjectives you learn. Is se hvor langt. Right? Langt. And why is it langt and not lang? Well, because you will say like mit hår or dit hår. Right? So it's like that. Yeah, hår, det hår. So yeah, it hår. It's, well, you'll hear it hår sometimes, but it's rare. Although I do have to say hår is both like the entirety, but also like one hair. Right? So Se hvor langt hendes hår er. It's beautiful, it's very nice, especially if it's blonde. Okay. Okay, this one has 2 words missing because I'm really punishing you for something. Nah, I'm just talking shit. Okay, den dame har knogler. Den dame har knogler. So the old lady has frail or fragile bones. Yeah, actually you could just say den dame har knogler, but that would be super weird because that would change the meaning to that lady has bones, like it's something special. Nah. So what are you gonna do? So you have to say old, that's one, and then frail or fragile. I put both these words because it's kind of the same in Danish. Den gamle dame har skrøbelige knogler. Ja, den gamle dame har skrøbelige knogler. So gamle, maybe you're thinking, well, what is with the ordering? Because you've probably seen gammel before. Jeg er gammel. So why is the L before the E? Well, gamle you would use in the plural. So like de er gamle, mine gamle forældre. There's 2 of them, plural, gamle. Nice. But it's also when you have something like den, or det, then it becomes like the. So den gamle, det gamle testamentet, the Old Testament. Den gamle mand, the old man. So yeah, that's important. And then you take out an M. You don't say gamle with 2 M's and then LE. Would be cool, but you don't do that. So yeah, gamle. Skrøbelig, there's not so much to say. Yeah, skrøbelig is fragile. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. But of course the main thing is remember the E at the end, so that you don't forget this being plural. Skrøbelige. Very nice. Muy bien. And we move on. Then we got hun er blevet nu. Hun er blevet nu. She's gotten bigger now. So the question is, how do you say bigger in Danish? Now you probably know what big is. Maybe you have to change the spelling a little bit. Just a little bit. What you have to do is say hun er blevet større nu. Okay? Dramatic. Hun er blevet større nu. Because, well, stor, større, størst. That's how it is, right? You have to study or pay attention when you see like, oh, how does it look if it's bigger or biggest? And stor, maybe it's a bit annoying, but it becomes større. You don't say store like with 2 R's. That's større. Hun er blevet større nu. Nice. Simple. Okay, then what we got? Deres forhold er vist lidt nu. Deres forhold er vist lidt nu. It seems that their relationship is a little chilly now. And I mean chilly as in, it's not hot, it's not nice. It's not that they're sitting in a freezer. So yeah. Yeah. How do you say that? The word you want to use is køligt. Køligt, because kølig, let's ignore the T for a second, is cool. Not cool like, oh, I'm so cool, but like chilly, like køligt. And then of course it's køligt because it's forhold, in relationship, it forhold, therefore køligt. It all makes sense. Deres forhold er lidt køligt nu. Very nice. Then what? Then we got Dine hænder er your hands are warm. I don't think I can drag this one out. It's kind of basic. Think about it. Dine hænder er varme. Just that. Varme. Varm is warm. And then of course you put the E because plural. Dine hænder er varme. The reason why it's so important to understand that E is in the plural, or the en or it's, like how it influences the adjective, is that if your grammar is all over the place and you are not really consistent and there's no real structure, then the recipient, the reader or listener, if you're speaking, will be confused and they're trying to guess excuse me, they're trying to guess which direction you're going in. It's like, is this what you want to say, or is this what you want to say? It's like, that's why it's important that you make it all match. So yeah. Okay, next one. Dine kæledyr så. Dine kæledyr så. Your pets are so naughty. Of course they are, they're pets. Dine kæledyr så. Yeah. So if you don't know, you don't know. It's not similar to the English word in any way. I think it's a very unique Danish word. The word for naughty is uartig, and this is plural, so it's uartige. De kæledyr så uartige. There is a word called artig, and so that's like the positive. Uartig is the opposite of that, and that word is, we don't really use it anymore. I mean, we all understand it, but if you say artig, it kind of sounds like you're very well behaved, you know. And I think to many Danish people, at least from my generation and my parents' generation, it sounds very like you're supposed to act this way, you know. You're supposed to like listen and be kind of obedient, and, you know, don't break the rules and all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of loaded. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you. Like, so that was a bit of a side point. It's kind of a cultural note. If you live in Denmark, it's good to know these things, because there's always a connotation with the word, especially if it's an adjective. Alright, cool. Then we got det et eksempel. Det et eksempel. So that is that's a perfect example. Example with Danish accent. So the question is, how do you say perfect in Danish? Right? I say that, it's not that hard. It is perfect. Perfect. I guess the main thing about this word is not the spelling but the pronunciation, because a lot of the time learners, and I don't blame you for it, you just want to save energy, but what happens is that you see a word that's similar to the English one, and then you're like, oh, perfect, like perfect, but no, it's perfect, because Danish words, whether they're, you know, adjectives or nouns, if they end with ect, there's a very high chance that the stress is there. I made another video about that, about suffixes, also about prefixes, like where the stress is in the word. I cannot tell you what it is 100% of the time, but you can get to a very high percentage. It's not random, there are rules. So, perfect. Very nice. We continue down here, I'm not done. Okay, then we got Jeg tog et bad. Jeg tog et bad. And everybody knows that you shower better if you do this. So jeg tog et bad and I took a cold shower. Okay, what is cold? This again very basic. It's like top 10, maybe top 20 most basic adjectives. Jeg tog et koldt bad. Right? Jeg tog et koldt bad. Nice and easy, except it hurts. So jeg tog et koldt bad. And yeah, of course it's cold because it's et bad. Yeah, nothing else to say. Then you got, this was inspired by something I bought earlier today. De her chips er ikke så. De her chips er ikke så. These chips are not so crispy. So the question is, how do you say crispy in Danish? It's probably a word that you don't really know unless you're thinking about food a lot, or you just found it by chance. The word is sprød, and then you add the e, because you know it's the plural. De her chips er ikke så sprøde. I think that back in the day when I was a teenager, maybe before that, it was like cool to say like, oh, han er sprød, like he's crispy, kind of like he's dope. I heard it in, I read the subtitles to Eminem's 8 Mile, like, they say you're a dope rapper. De siger, du er en sprød rapper. It's like, sprød. Sorry, that's a side note. It's not important. Okay, so sprøde is crispy. Then you got han er bare ikke et menneske. Han er bare ikke et menneske. No, he is just not a, so he's just not a good person. That's pretty easy. think I can just give it to you. I don't want to drag it out too much. Ikke et godt menneske. Right? And then of course it is godt because it's et menneske. You don't say god menneske. But the most common mistake here is not with God so much. Well, it's that people say god person because your mind is in English, so you think, oh, good person, god person. Yeah, we have person in Danish, obviously, but you don't say god person. That's super weird. That's yeah, really weird. So yeah, godt menneske, ikke? A good person. Okay. Then we got. Actually, I forgot to put a word in the translation. Here we go. Det var det møde nogensinde. Det var det møde nogensinde. So that was the longest meeting ever. Okay. You have an idea? How do you say longest? Like the longest in Danish. Det var det længste møde nogensinde. So this can be a little bit tricky because it's lang, and it's lang, but then it's længere, and then længst. Okay, I can just quickly write it here. Okay, so lang, længere, længst, but it's længste because there's det. Det var det længste. Maybe I can get into that particular point another day, like why is it best, and then sometimes it's bedste. I don't think I want to go so deep into that right now, but just remember it starts with lang, then it becomes længere, and then længst or længste. Awesome. Det var det længste møde nogensinde. Then what? Then it says hun bevæger sig meget. Hun bevæger sig meget. Again, sorry guys, a little bit sloppy here. I was too excited, I think. So she's moving very slowly. Right? Yeah. There's again not so much to say. You know what slow is. Slow is langsom. Maybe the surprise is that it's langsomt, right? Because it's the way it's being done. It's the adverb. Hun bevæger sig meget langsomt. She's moving very slowly. Langsomt, langsomt. It's kind of like the expression stille og roligt. You know it? Stille og roligt is kind of like nice and easy, like chilling. Yeah, it's nice and chill, relaxing. So that's what it is. Right? Langsomt. Amazing. I've got this. And it says benzinen er blevet. Benzinen er blevet. The gasoline has gotten cheaper. Okay, benzinen er blevet. So maybe I think there's a good chance you know what cheap is in Danish. What is it? What is it? It is billig. Then of course it's billigere because it's cheaper. You have billig, that's the root, and then you say ere, billigere. Right? Benzinen er blevet billigere. Nice. Alright. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. And then we have den sydamerikanske chili er endnu something. Den sydamerikanske chili er endnu. I think there's a dialect thing. I noticed that you're supposed to say endnu, but I tend to say, I think people around me growing up, we would all say endnu, so it's not like an O. That's a dialect. You don't have to copy that. But yeah, endnu is like even more, even something, even bigger, even whatever. Den sydamerikanske chili er endnu. Because South American chili is just like, it kills you, right? Okay, enough mucking around. You have stærkere, because stærk is spicy. Hey, Thomas, stærk also means strong. Yes, it does. It's physically strong, mentally strong, anything. And stærk, well, typically as an adverb, stærkt is køre stærkt, to drive fast. So yeah, has a couple of meanings. It's nice. Stærk. Okay, then what? Min kat elsker at drikke. Well, what? Something happened there. Min kat elsker at drikke vand. Min kat elsker at drikke vand. So my cat loves drinking dirty water. If you took out that, underscore, you would just say it loves drinking water. But we want an adjective here. Min kat elsker at drikke beskidt vand. There's a lot of passion into that word. Min kat elsker at drikke beskidt vand. Okay? So beskidt is dirty. And this is one of those words where there's always a T. There is no beskidt. That sounds kind of dirty. If your Danish is a little higher level, you'll know why. No, there's no such thing as beskidt. It's beskidt. Okay? Always, always. And the D is silent. It's not beskidt. It's beskidt. Beskidt, beskidt. Okay, så min kat elsker at drikke beskidt vand. Halleluja. Hvad så? Det er ikke så, som det var før. Det er ikke så, som det var før. It's not as relevant as it was before. So, how do you say relevant in Danish? I could just do a copy-paste because the spelling is the same. Relevant. Det er ikke så relevant, som det var før. Just keep an eye on the live chat here. Okay, all is well. Det er ikke så relevant, som det var før. Now, again, this is one of those words where you only have it with T. There is no relevant. That doesn't exist. There is relevance, ending with an S instead of a T, but that's relevance. That is what? The noun. This is the adjective. Så det er ikke så relevant, som det var før. And we have, you know, not like many in the larger picture, but we have quite a few adjectives like this, ending always with T. Okay, moving on. Then it says, vinteren er meget her. Vinteren er meget her. So the winter is very cold here. Okay, cool. I think you already know it. I don't really need to beat around the bush. Vinteren er meget kold her. That's that, right? Because it's en vinter, so vinteren er kold. There's nothing else I can say. Vinteren er meget kold her. Alright, we have a few left. Mit hus er... like, so my house is the biggest. Everybody likes to brag. Mit hus er størst. Størst. And you had stor, større, størst, or største. Right? Mit hus er størst. Nice. Then you have han er en meget mand. Han er en meget mand. He's a very smart man. So how do you say smart in Danish? It's probably more than one word, but like the go-to, the standard word for smart is klog. Klog. Yeah. Because if you say smart, we do have the word smart in Danish, but that is more like clever, kind of like a smart ass or something that's handy or convenient. So it's a different meaning, or maybe it's you're like fashionable, dashing, and like, oh, you're smart, eh? So it's not the same. Klog is the standard word for smart. Okay, two left. Nu er du blevet endnu. Nu er du blevet endnu. Now you've gotten even richer. So once again, we had that, you know, even, more or something. What are you gonna do about it? Endnu rigere. Rigere. The root being rig, rich, and then E-R-E. Rigere, richer. Yeah. It's kind of easy, and like when you watch the entire video and when you're thinking about it, it becomes pretty simple. Nu er du blevet endnu rigere. Nu er du blevet endnu rigere. To say with some emotion. Amazing. Okay, last one. Det er den undskyldning. Det er den undskyldning. That is the worst excuse. Okay, so how do you say worst? Now, of course, you gotta think of the word bad. But just like in English, you don't say bad or baddest. Okay, yeah, I know you do as a slang, but sort of like officially. You don't say, you shouldn't say at least dårlig, dårlig, dårligst. Some people do it, I don't like it. It is værst. In this case, værste, because you have den. Det er den værste undskyldning. That is the worst excuse. Det er den værste undskyldning. So yeah, The one before that, in the evolution, you imagine it's like a Pokemon. You have 3. You got dårlig. Well, that's not okay. Anyway, dårlig, være, værst. Okay? Dårlig, være, værst. So yeah, very nice. Let me just put that for good measure, because I know it can be confusing if it doesn't look consistent. Super duper. So that was pretty much all for today. I think that was a bit of grammar, and it's fun. It's been like a month, or yeah, a little bit more than a month since I talked about grammar stuff. So this was nice to do again. And if you're just joining the live stream now, then you can go back to the beginning, and I always recommend that you take notes, because that is awesome. I should also update you a little bit. In addition to the usual stuff, which is of course danishmastery.com, you see that down here, hundreds of videos, yada yada. I don't want to do the whole pitch today, because you know what it is. I do have to remind you, or to make you aware, that I started an Instagram page. It's just Danish_Mastery. And so you can write Danish Mastery, it'll pop up. The picture is the same as here on YouTube, just to keep it simple and easy to find. I know some people before, they're asking like, Thomas, why don't you make an Instagram? The truth is, I kind of hate those media. But you know, you gotta stop whining sometimes and just give the people what they want. So yeah, I made an Instagram. Go check it out. It's just like a little extra stuff. It's not like I'm making long videos there. That's on YouTube and the website, danishmastery.com. But yeah, you know, I put a little stuff on Instagram. It's cool. You can check it out if you want. So yeah. Oh, another thing. This is just, I'm just gonna give you a little tease. I'm not gonna say all of it. Physical materials. How do you feel about that? Like, imagine printed books, or maybe something smaller, maybe something about this size. How would you feel about something that's printed, something you can hold in your hands? These days I'm asking all my students about it, like all my private students throughout the week. I'm like, okay, so what do you think? And like, I wanna pick your brain and hear the feedback that you got. So yeah, tell me what you think. You can do it right now in the live chat, and if I'm moving too fast and you don't have time to write that, that's okay. Just write it in the comment section. But yeah, I want to know, because I was thinking, you know, it's about time that I put something into print, one format or another, because everything is digital. You know, 20 years ago it was cool, it was digital, but now it's just tiring. You look at the screen all day long. So yeah, nobody really likes that, right? So yeah, I guess that is pretty much it. Something physical is being made, and I want to hear your thoughts about it, and then I'll prioritize based on that. Okay, so I think I did that. Then we got something here in the live chat. We got Marietta Hildegard, or Hildegard, which is see, that's the thing. This looks like it's kind of mixed with Danish, like, or maybe Swedish, like Fisakai. And then I can't pronounce it. I look like an idiot. No, it's fine. Then Thanos, or Thanos. I was surprised the other day. Apparently that's a real name in Greece. I didn't know that. No, Thanos. Beste. Yeah, I think you got it. Then it's like in English, I guess. So I think you commented that when I said inspiring, right? Yeah, it's pretty much the same. So that's nice. You can do a little parallel. Then we got Sidney Dyer saying, "Oh, mesju dayo." Yeah, well, you know, you can feel the love, you feel it, and you give it, and you it is what it is, right? Then we have Naganjika Bus. I'm not trying to make fun of your name. I think it's very interesting. Tak for undervisning. Yeah, sure, that's nice. I guess I would say undervisningen, like the teaching or tutoring, but yeah. And then Hyggehome, cool name. A little, yeah, that thing. That's sweet. Alright guys, I think that's it. I think I crossed off everything on the list, and grammar is awesome, so watch this video again if you need to. I'll be back next week, because I don't disappear.